I'm going to go into how to build a business from therapy, coaching, anything for that matter, really. You can apply it for anything. How many therapists in the group? How many people like work in therapy? A fair few. Coaching? Okay. Anybody looking to go into coaching and therapy? Okay, go down that road. Okay. So would it be useful to learn some techniques to build a business, or get more clients, or move things forward? Is that of use? Fantastic. I'm going to cover today some strategies I've learned over a period of years. I co-founded NLP Center of Excellence and many other businesses, yet in saying that, I had a therapeutic background. I am and have been a therapist for a long time. I've written many books in therapy and every other area, and I only say that because I wasn't at school the most academic person. I struggled in school. Athletics was my saving grace. I struggled in school because I had a very turbulent upbringing. At 14, I come home one day, Dad gets injured from work, Mum's ill, you have to find a job in a factory. So that was a big struggle, but I had sport. Sport got me on the straight and narrow. I had a coach, he had an NLP hypnotherapy background, and he really helped me a lot. I'd go on to compete at the highest level in sports, yet in saying that, I left academia aside. I eventually saw the value in education and went to uni. But when I first went to uni, at 23, they called me mature age students at Loughborough, I struggled. I didn't know a noun, a verb, the alphabet. And that's why I shared a story that it is possible to go on and do whatever you want to do. So I wrote many books, NLP, CBT, I do many different disciplines. The techniques that I'm going to cover are based on the best-selling book I wrote, Excellent Business. And the reason being is that when I left sport full-time, I went into establishing a business. I came from a poor family. We were bordering homeless. Now, I got into sport and I was very affluent. I had a new life. It was an amazing life. Performance coach in Premiership football, working for Premiership football teams and players. I left that to pursue my dream. I never went to coaching for money or therapy. It was my vision, my dream to help people. I was affluent in the field of sport anyway. What I found after a year, nearly bankrupt. I didn't know how to chase invoices, make payments. I had people seeing me, professional footballers on God knows how much money, I wouldn't even invoice them. I felt almost paternal to them. I can't give someone a bill that I've looked after since so high. And it got me to a point where I was nearly bankrupt, and it didn't matter for me. Money's a big issue for me, but I have 2 children. And it really upset me. I thought, they can't live the way I live. Days without food, no shoes. They're not going to go down that road. I could have gone back in professional sport and corporation, but I chose not to because I was living what I wanted to do. I took a bit of a time out. I went and worked in care home and secure unit to help young people. Stayed anonymous, but I got big results. I just needed to get a business acronym. So I wrote this book purely by modeling people who were successful in business, no better than what I was as a therapist. I'd seen a therapist as a young person. That was my biggest lesson in therapy, to help myself. Severe asthma, belief issues, want to be an athlete, people telling me, Jim, you got to know your place, you'll never make it. I worked in a factory at 15, putting bottle tops on bottles, and my next door neighbor got me a job. And one day I had the foreman come in and say, Jim, you're going too damn slow. And I thought, is this going to be in my life forever? Great people, environment. One lunchtime I thought, I'm not coming back to that job again. My next neighbor says, Jim, you're crazy, you've got a great job. Maybe for you it is. People like us don't succeed, Jim. So I had the vision. I had the background. What I didn't have is the acronym. Does that sort of resonate with people? You're good at what you do. People are established, they're no better than you. Does that resonate with people? Well, how are they doing it? Well, strategy. So I want to share strategy today with you guys. It's subjective. What I do today might not be for you, not for everybody. Yet, if you take one thing away today, I'm sure you'll take more than that, you're on the way. Now, I deliver seminars around the world. Recently, someone said to me, I've broken the world record for delivering more places. I don't know if it's true, I don't care, but that's to give you an idea. So I go around doing what I do. I develop my own therapy based on many different things as well. I used to work on radio many years ago, clean cut, back in the day. And I use these examples because it gives you an idea that if you want to do something, you can do it. When I did my media training, the woman who trained me in media says, Jim, you may as well not bother. Why? Because you don't articulate yourself very well. Really? You've just given me motivation now. Tell me you can do something. Tell me I can do something, and if you tell me I can't do it, I've got to prove you wrong. We took football at 5 to number 1. I use these stories to show you that there's nothing special about me. No big deal. I just put my head down and work really, really hard. Sports where I made my name. I won everything there was to win in the game of sport. Pretty much everything there was. People said, Jim, you're crazy. You've got a great life. Why are you leaving to work in care home? What is wrong? Have you lost your mind? And you want to start a business? I went for too many evenings thinking, is that it for me? Is that going to be it? Now, I felt guilty because I come from a poor family. And when I was injured in sport, I nearly got made homeless. And I thought, I got all you could ever wish for, great life, and it's not for me. So for night after night after night, I said, who am I? What do I want? Anyone ever, well, you probably won't put your hand up, you felt that way, but I felt that way for too long. And one day I said, no, I've had enough. It's just not for me no more. I still work with professional athletes and sports people, but on my terms as consultants. No regrets, because after a year from leaving, nearly going bankrupt, I had a chance to go back in the game and be paid what I wanted to be paid. I said, no, I'm on my path. The guy interviewed me saying, Jim, we'll give you a job, cut your losses, man. Come back in. What's this crusade all about? I said, listen, there's no crusade. I will work as a taxi driver to supplement, not just a taxi driver or in factory, to supplement my income, support my family. I'm going to do what I want to do. End of story. You don't live forever. People should be told at birth or in school early on, you're not going to be here for eternity. I don't want to live for 70 years, only for 1 billion years. I'll make a big impact. I help young people realize their dreams. I help young people overcome many issues. And I thought, you know what, I've got something here. I've got it, but I can't get it out. Because every time I try, I'm sacrificing myself. And I've got to eat too, I've got to pay bills. The next time you think nobody cares, don't pay your bills for 2-3 months, and you'll see just how many people care. The Vodafone, the electricity bill, they're all banging on the door. And you can't go to Tesco and walk out. I don't work for them, by the way, and walk out because they come and lock you away. You need to eat as therapists. So as therapists and coaches, people think that sometimes because you're passionate about what you do, we sort of give it away. And that's not a good place to be, because the value you add to people's lives, I work with substance misuse, suicide, loads of stuff. How do you repay anyone? I'm not an egotistical person. I don't say it's down to me, but I like to think I played my small part, and so do you, I'm sure of it. And there's a few things tweaking here and there, and today I'm going to share some stuff. So I'm going to do like a bit of a coaching session type thing. I'm not going to waffle on. I'm going to sort of coaching session, and you can take notes. You've got pen and paper, iPad, iPhone, whatever you need to do, just take notes and take what you want out of it. I'll give you your cards, whatever. If you want the presentation, you can have it. Entirely up to you. You can have an ebook as well, and take what you want out of it. The key, love what you do, your passion. Your passion is key. Now, the most passionate person doesn't mean you're Australia's succeed in business. So you can be passionate, love what you do, it's a great start. No one's ever bought a vacuum cleaner on a Sunday afternoon from someone who's banging on your door. Salesperson, you need to have passion. That's your sales pitch. But you've got to take action. The law of action. There's law of attraction, the law of action too. Now, my philosophy was the average person works 90,000 hours in a lifetime. Life's not forever, not permanent. A lot of people, they'll work their life one job, they'll wait for retirement, they get there. Is that all it is? I think why not start now? It's not always easy because we've got families to provide for and people to support, but we've got to have a plan. A plan. Now, I'm a believer that we don't jump in the deep end, so to speak. What we do is we increment change. Anyone got children in the group? Would you throw your children in the deep end? Sometimes you might feel like to do, but you wouldn't do it in the pool. So we shouldn't tell people, go business in deep end. People go to these motivational seminars, rah, 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 come on. Resignation they hand the resignation, then after 2 months they've got no money to pay a bill. Anxious and nervous. It's about having a plan. And rather than stepping in the deep end, Because that motivational speaker ain't going to pay your bills. Take one step, one step, one step. Rather than one big step, then two big steps backwards. So what I want to do is think about, okay, what do you want from a career point of view? People going about niche and whatever else. Think about what you want. Who knows what they want from a career point of view? What? Okay, anyone else know what you want? Yeah. If you don't know what you want, thought-provoking, I suggest go away and think clearly. What do I want? What do I want? In my mind, one of my biggest values was make a difference. The only issue was, in my top 5 values, finance wasn't there. 1 year later, nearly bankrupt. When I was nearly bankrupt, I didn't have that many friends come around and say, here you go, Jim. Here's a few, Bob. It worked that way. I didn't have people saying to me, Jim, you've helped me. I'll send you some money. Don't work that way. So you've got to be very clear about what your drivers are, what your values are, and make sure they're in alignment. Now, I can't do a value presentation exercise in 45 minutes, but do think very clearly, what do I want? What do I stand for? What do I stand for and believe? Be very clear about what you stand for. Now, if you have the time to get and elicit your own values and drivers, look at your values and see where they are. Are they supporting your goal? You're a therapist, you're a coach, you want to start a business. Are my values in alignment with my goal? Because if they're not, you're going to struggle. Do I need to adjust a few things? Pricing policy. When I first started off, was apprehensive about asking people for money. Couldn't do it. I worked for one company. A year went down the line. I hired staff to work with them. And one day I read the Financial Times. They said how high they were up and how great their product was. And I said to the director of the company, it'd be nice if you paid me my bill. He goes, it's coming, Jim. It's a year. You haven't paid me anything. I've got to eat. What's coming? I said, what's coming? I cannot carry on working with you. I can't. It's costing me money. And that's where you end up if you're not clear. Pricing policy. What do I charge? Terms. Really important stuff. I ask you a question. What does the word success mean to you? Anybody? What's the word success? What's the word success mean? Anybody? Fire away. Come on, I'll give you an answer. Play ball. Word success? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Tom, what you want? Anyone got anything else? Okay. What about the word relationship? What does that mean to you? Anything else? Okay. Anyone got anything else? Bond? Okay. So no two people in the room have got the same answer. No two people. If I come in this room, I can see you all look different physically. I can see that. I can't see mentally, but mentally equally is different. The danger is I assume you all think the same, or the same as me. Business point of view, those of you who understand NLP or coaching will know, map of the world. We all have our own map of the world. Words are just labels. You've got to know your customer's map of the world. Do you know what your customer wants? Are you clear? Who knows who their customers are? You know? Okay. Anyone else know who their customer are? Anybody else? Who doesn't know who their customers are? Okay, you don't know who they are. So you've got to be clear. Who is my customer? Very clear. And I said before, this seminar, the time we've got, we're going to go through very thought-provoking, take what you need out of it, but you can come back to it and fill it in. You've got to know your customers. If you try and catch too many customers, all things to all people, what happens, do you think? Who's seen those websites? All things to all people. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Well, what the hell do they do? Nobody knows. So I want to be very clear, who is the customer? All the biggest brands, and I consult many leading brands, they all very clear who their customer is. They know who they are. They're very clear on who their customer is. From a coaching point of view, you've got to know who your clients are. Who works in sales in the group? Anybody work in sales? One person. We're all in sales. All of us. We all sell ourselves. That sounds cheesy and horrible, but on some level, if you're a teacher, you sell the class to the students. If you're a doctor, they've got to buy you. They buy you, the client. They don't buy the method. Anyone can do. Anyone get a book. And anyone get a book. When I first started teaching NLP, I came from the therapy background. And I saw some trainers in NLP. I thought, the way they teach, you may as well just read a book. It's flipping at step A, step B. There's no creativity. You need creativity. Give people a chance to flourish. If I teach you to kick a football and you copy me, will you learn the following week? No, because I'm doing it for you. If I say, here you go, here's the ball. This is one way to do it, but you find a better way. You'll come back, you'll learn. You're better than me. So the key thing is, we've got to know and be comfortable being sales. When I say sales, not the perception of sales that we see, negative way, you got a great product. There was a woman I was working with a while ago. She was great at EFT. She said the universe is going to bring her clients. I said, don't wait for the universe. You'll be waiting a long time. Be proactive, action plan. Now she's got a massive practice in London. She was on the papers. Proactive. Now, I'm all for law of attraction. It's one law of many laws, but you can't just rely on universe. No one has ever dropped a bag of money on my head meditating. Never happened. No one's ever dropped a Ferrari off. Never happens for me, for some reason. Maybe for you it does. For me, it doesn't happen. All they ever do is drop a bill. That's what I get, plenty of them. Listen to those Vodafones come. They got a bill more than what we sign up for, so we know that. So you've got to know the customer. What problem does your customer have? Does your customer, what's their issue? What's their pain? Who knows what their customer's pain is? One person, okay. So you've got to know what their pain is. Okay, what do they want? What do they want solved? Whoever watches those corporate advertisements, they give you problems that you don't have, and they give solution. Goodness me, some of the crap they sell, and they make billions. You're helping people's lives. Some of the rubbish you see advertised in TV, I went to that talk, the food one, some of the junk food that they sell to people, and they build association around their brand. Hey, your life's going to be really, really great. Great talk it was, by the way. I really enjoyed it. And the thing is, really, they're comfortable doing that. So you've got a great product, but you've got to know what their issue is. Okay? What keeps them awake at night? What keeps them awake at night? Stressing them out. Okay? You've got to be their solution. They've got to see you as the solution. Otherwise, what's the point? No one will do anyone any favors in this world. No one's going to come to you and think, you know what? I owe you anything. They won't do it that way. Your solution is key. How you can solve. And you've got to love the customer. Love the clients. Sometimes we have off days. We all do. But we've got to show that we care and go the extra mile. Really important as a coach. So we're there for them. We want their success as much as they want success. Love the customer. Really important stuff. Sometimes you get customers not easy to deal with. I get it a lot. Sometimes. Yeah, you've got to think from their point of view. They're looking for a problem solved. But, and you guys who are starting out and are going for it, congratulate yourselves. Because most people won't have a goal. Most people are suffering in silence. They'll just work enough to get paid, not get fired. And they think life's short. You're going to be forever. Better to love and lose than not love at all, to have a goal, is my philosophy. People said to me, Jim, you're crazy, you start a business? What are you going to do a business? I thought, at least I have a goal. You've never had a goal. You'll never know. Who's the failure, really? The one who tries, the one who sits back and laughs at everybody else? What motivates you? What drives you? What's your why? Who's got a strong motive for doing what they want to do? Anybody? Yeah. I wanted to help young people originally, because as a young person, I suffered. Very poor, didn't have anything. So I wanted to help young people not live the way I lived. That was my driver. I'd go talk in schools. I'd drive all over the country, abroad, to talk in a school. That was a drive. Jimmy Crazy, driving 5 hours to London from Manchester to talk in a school. I want to be there. I want to help young people. We're helping young people. That passion would expand to everybody and anybody, to corporations, okay, so what motivates you? Stay motivated, stay well. Through life, you'll have situations. In life, you've got situations that cause stress, like this presentation not working now. Hello, presentation gone. Yeah. So you're going to have situations you can't control. And you have great people over there who can help you sort it out. So you've got situations in life. Who's the most important person you communicate to? Who's the most important person you talk to? Yeah, just don't talk to yourself too loud or you get locked away. That's coming from mental health. But yeah, situations, you get made redundant. You break up partners. These things happen in life. Life's not wishy-washy, airy-fairy, Pollyanna. It doesn't work that way. So you've got to find a way to keep yourself motivated. I use the ABC model CBT. We look at situations in life, our thoughts, to break problems down. But what we also do, because, for example, if 3 people lost their job and they all had the same sort of money, how do you think they might react? Would they react differently, you think? One might be devastated, lost job, don't know what to do, I'm going to end up living on the street, presentation gone again. One might think, you know what, great, I can start a business, and the other person might think, you know what, it's neutral, I lost job before, I've got a new job, I can do it again. So the key is really for you to consider that every situation, it's the belief about the situation that's key. That dictates your thoughts. So 3 people break up in a relationship, will they all act the same? 3 people? No. One might be devastated, I'll never meet anyone again. One might be emotionally drawn, they might social avoidance, behave erratically, all those things they do. One person might be, you know what, neutral. They don't want to be there. Fine, I'll be proactive and behavioral strategy and step by step. And one person might say, great, I wish they'd have gone earlier. So it's all relative to the person's situation, but the key is really in all of that, what we're trying to say is that we can break problems down to a manageable level. But also we can target strategies that you've got to do that target your thoughts, target your physical reaction, target your behavior and feelings. So you're meditating, you're eating well, you're questioning your thoughts, you're doing all the things that you need to go forward, which is key. You're proactive in going forward, which is really important stuff. Now, what's quite significant in all of this is belief. What is your belief? Do your beliefs support you in what you want to do? Your structured reality. Do you believe you can do it? Do you believe there's a market there? If you write down or think about some beliefs that limit you, what are some limiting beliefs that you might have, do you think? Anybody want to share some limiting beliefs they've got? What are some limiting beliefs you might have? Qualification, okay. Anything else? Yeah, that could be true. Belief around money. All these things can be true, but also got empowering beliefs. But the key thing is really with me, you've got to assess your beliefs. Because you've got beliefs about money, about qualification, about all these different things. You've got to say to yourself, well, where are they coming from? Are they mine? You've got to start somewhere. Some of the greatest therapists in the world, they haven't got a great deal of qualification. Coaches even. Some of the best coaches in sport weren't top athletes. For whatever reason, I don't know, but they weren't. So you've got to draw a line somewhere. You've got to think of what beliefs would serve you. What beliefs would empower you? What beliefs could I use? And learn from other people. When I was struggling, I went around people who were succeeding. What did they believe? Why were they succeeding and me not? I want to know what was the difference between them and me. And I realized that they had different beliefs around money. My beliefs around money was negative. I thought I shouldn't be charging for something I love doing. They didn't think that way. I'd see speakers out there doing really well financially, not that that's just the be-all end-all of success, but you've got to live in this corporate world that we live in. It's their belief. They were comfortable, charging top rate. Incredible. I thought this is incredible. They don't have my experience, but they're happy doing it. That's their belief. And that's going to drive your behavioral patterns. So you've got to decide what's helpful and unhelpful. You've got to decide what's helping me, thought process, and what's not helping, and get the balance. Be aware of your thoughts. Be really aware of what's going through your mind. Okay? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a quick exercise with you. I'm going to clap, and every time I clap, I want you to write down the first thought that comes in your mind, okay? Just a couple of times. We ready? So write down the first thought that comes to your mind. Okay. On average, they say we've got 60,000 thoughts a day. So they say. It's an assumption. We don't know for sure. Roughly, give or take. And most of them are harmless or good for you. Because we generalize a lot of things that we do. You generalize you get dressed, you make a cup of tea, coffee. You generalize many things, but there are also dangerous ones. Now, what can you control in life? What can we really control? You can't control the weather. You can't control someone else's behavior. You can influence someone else's behavior. You can't control many things. The only thing you can control is your thoughts. That's all you've got control over. Your thoughts, your reality. And in business, in coaching, therapy, you're going to have tough times. Lean patches, hard times, your own issues, as well as other things going on. And the key is to manage your mindset. Because you can be one of two things. You can be the victim thinking. Why always me? And why this? And why that? Who's been there before? Victim thinking. Yeah. We've all been there if we're honest. Yeah? And winning thinking. It's easy to be winner when things are going well. I've seen people, things are going well, they're great. Yeah, look at me, great. Even on Facebook, they put on Facebook, look at my life, I'm blessed, blah. But when things go badly, don't see them for dust. The true champion, when things are going badly, they still keep going. Still keep going. I was literally living on the streets. On the streets. Literally. Living with nothing, nowhere to go, nothing. From having a successful career in sport. I still maintain that mindset. I had days when I thought, why me? That's not serving me. We've got to keep going, no matter what. But Jim, how are you so positive? Do I have an option? What are my options? You got to keep going. You got to have a plan to keep going. You stay with the plan. But the mind, the way it is, we walk on autopilot. Who's ever had road rage before? You don't think the person who cut you up, raising their wife to hospital. We don't logically think. So we're driven from a part of the brain that's very primal. And most of the world's challenges are, we've got a primal brain and a logical brain. And one is a lot older than the other. And the two try and merge together. So emotion's going to drive behavior. Always. Logically is one thing. People go back to bad relationship, they smoke, they drink, that's bad for them, but emotion's different. That primal brain. And a lot of the world's problems are based on the two trying to play ball. So you've got to be, in this world we live in, that's very, very fight, flight, freeze. Our threat activation system's always on alert. Primarily, we don't have these dinosaurs in town anymore, but what we've got is pressure. And pressure, we react the same way as we would do all those years ago. We're running away from dinosaurs. We fight, we freeze, whatever. So what I'm saying here is, what we need to do is stay in a good place yourself. You've got to be in a good place yourself. If you've got a client and you want to help them get confident, you go there first. If you've got a client that wants to be more motivated, you go there first. Now, it's easy to get motivated when you've got loads of money and you're happy and blah, blah, blah. But when things don't go well, that's the challenge. When things aren't going well. And what I did when things weren't going well and my life was all over the place to keep going, I thought, I'm a coach and motivating people. What I did every day, make sure I sleep well, meditate, go for a walk, eat well, stay in a good place. Because I think really, the higher we are emotionally, the better. And there were people who had a lot more than me. Jim, how do you do it? Don't have a choice. I've got to profess to be the person that I'm going to help people be. And I say to you that it's not easy. It's testing. It's testing. I trained a lifetime to be an athlete, got injured, not my fault. Had to retire. I couldn't stay there for too long. We all go through moods and everything else, but we want to make sure we're proactive. We do gratitude lists. We stay in a good place. There are some days you get out of bed, you know what? It's tough. There's some days I get out of bed and think, goodness me, the in-tray's like this, and clients, and everyone wants something, but you've got to keep yourself going and doing things like meditation, sleeping well, sleep hygiene, time with family. All these things are important stuff to reflect. Really important stuff. Because you can be the best practitioner in the world. You can be the best in the world at what you do. And you can do what I did. I was a good coach. I'd won stuff in sport. I was a good therapist. I'd done therapy since 17-year-old. I was good at that. I got changed. What I wasn't good at is running a business. I wasn't good at running a business. I had to be a web person. I had to be clean. I had to be everything other than what I wanted to do. I thought, what the hell am I doing? I'm up at 5 in the morning, cleaning my premises, doing the websites, paying bills. I don't go to bed till midnight. I'm not doing any coaching here. What have I signed up for? So you can be good at practitioner, but it doesn't mean you're going to be good at doing what you do. So when you set up on your own, you've got to decide that, there's no holiday pay, unsociable hours, it's very emotional. You've got to know your business. Really do need to know, because as human beings, we don't spend enough time in the present. We think about the past and think about things in the future that haven't happened. Most things that happen in the future don't happen anyway. And people say to me, Jim, you talk about living in the now, but what about these goals? The best chance you've got of succeeding is being in the now. If you're in a meeting, give the person you're with your time. You come and see me, coaching, I give you my time, you pay. I'm there. I'm here now. 100% here. And that's the key. Being in the now is your best chance you've got. And that takes time to work on that. Have a strong enough why. Motivation is key. Know who your business is. Who's the business? Who do you stand for? Really important stuff. The world's a different place. The world, business failure is on the up. The stats aren't great. Australia and America, most businesses fail in the first few years. Cash flow is the biggest problem we've got. Really important stuff. People just drown. Not on ability. They drown on not running as business. I believe entrepreneurship should be taught in schools. We're in a different age now. Not what we used to be. We need to have a plan. Ask better questions. These are some questions you can ask your business. How does your product serve like nobody else? And you don't have to answer this now, but I'm going to provoke your thought process. If you take one thing away and you break through, like I did all those years ago, you've done job. You'll email me in 5 years, say, Jim, like many people do, I went to your seminar, and now I've got £1 million business. I get that. People do that. I come to a seminar, I wrote something down, look where I am. And I say, it's not me, you did it. I just shared a little bit what I had to offer, So what do you do different? What can your product do better? Anybody else? What advantage do you have from customer? What can you give nobody else is given? It's not about the technique. I tell people when I do NLP, hypnotherapy training, it's not the techniques. They're only small percentage. It's your story. As a coach, the technique, anyone can learn. They're not hard to learn. It's about you. You sell your story, where you've come from, your background. That's what people buy. You've got a really story. Technique you use really powerful is motivation, away towards. Away from pain, towards pleasure. It motivates people. We're motivated either or. If you can think of 5 reasons that your customers will avoid pain by seeing you. 5 reasons they'll avoid pain, and 5 reasons they'll get pleasure by seeing you. Most of us motivated one way or the other, spectrum, context dependence. Be very clear on your service, do some market research. What is their pain? And then you can pitch yourself, avoid that pain, achieve that pleasure. Like the gym, for example, you avoid health risk and you go towards six-pack on beach. But you better be clear that no one is one thing in all situations. It's very context dependent. Be very clear about your market, what's their pain. Before you say yes to everybody else, make sure you don't say no to yourself. Okay, time is the essence. People phone you up, they want your time. You've got a business to run. You've got to be proactive, really important stuff. Love what you do, like the idea. Loads of people love the idea of being coach, therapist. They don't like doing it. They think it's glorifying, I do this, I have free time. It doesn't work that way. You've got to love it. If you don't love what you do, you won't get very far. When I used to work in football, I used to love the idea of being a footballer. Young lads used to want to play football because they thought, footballer, big house and car. They didn't want to train. They like the idea of it. You can't just turn up and play. You've got to train, work hard. They like the idea of it. This day and age, the speed of change is like this. You don't have time for business plan, niche. I did a seminar for business startups a few weeks ago, and they said, Jim, what do you think of niche, business plan? I said, listen, this day and age, capitalism, you've got an idea, someone's going to copy it and do it better. The life cycle of the business is flying. You've got to have an exit strategy. I consult businesses with people who don't have an exit strategy. They think, you can't do it forever. What do I do? Where do I go? Really important. The business life cycle now is not like it used to be. It changes all the time, always evolving. You've got to keep the vitality there all the time. Look at, for example, to use loose figures, I studied businesses. Nokia, phone Nokia? Apparently they were doing a phone every 5 years, from what I heard. Apple went 2 years. Where are Nokia, where are Apple? Look at Woolworths. How long were they in business? 100 years. Gone. In the last years of Woolworths, you go into Woolworths, the pick and mix were on the floor. It was like a bomb site. Asda took their market share. Tesco, people are going to take your market share. You got an idea? I consulted someone recently for a few years. She built the business up really, really high, and now she's moaning, saying people to copy what she does. That's life. Capitalism. You've got to keep innovating. How are you different? Evaluate your business all the time. Every year, every few months, new product, new range. Everything's got to change, you know? How can I add more value to my customers? Go the extra mile. If I help you get to where you want to get to, you'll help me go where I want to go. That's my philosophy. It's win-win. If I help my clients, then they help me do what I love doing. So you've got to add value to people. Really important stuff. If things don't work out, pick yourself up, go again. Time's the only asset you've got. So you use it wisely. Really important. To do that, weekly planners, plan your week, but don't make the goal obsession or you'll burn out. Life is important to have a balanced life as well. There are more important things in life than just business. More important things as well. Family, your own time as well. Planning your day is key. Think about how many income-producing activities you do. Am I doing things that are producing money, that are helping me, that are serving me, which is key. I'm going to share one last technique before we finish and wrap up, which is quite useful for you. It's an approach I use with people. It's called the laser approach. I'm going to go through it at an unconscious level, a breakneck speed level, and you can take out of what you will. But one thing to help you get going and move forward in what you're doing is decide where you are now. Where am I now? Where do you want to be? In the positive. List what you want. How many clients do you want? What do you want to charge? How busy do you want to be? How many workshops do you want to do? Very clear. Is it attainable? Is it attainable in that time frame? People phone me up sometimes saying, Jim, can you help me lose weight? You're the therapist. I want to lose 5 stone in 2 weeks. I said, yeah, I can help you around emotional eating and help you regulate your own eating plan. In time, you might lose some weight, but in 2 weeks, you'll lose 4 stone. But someone said I could, but go see them then. So you've got to make sure it's very clear. And one thing you can do, all that we want is to make us feel better. What emotion will you feel when you've got your goal? How will I feel emotionally when I achieve my goal? What will I see? So we can bring the goal into our conscious awareness now. How will I feel when I get the goal? What will I see? How do you know you've got the goal? Start now. You're the coach you want to be now, not next year, now. The ecology is the consequence. All things have a price. You can say, okay, you can do a cost-benefit analysis. Is it the right time to launch this business? Is it the right time to do this? What are the consequences of launching business and going for it? You might have a young family. It might not be the right time. You might have to phase into it. And look at the resources that you've got to achieve it. List all your resources and find someone who has been there and learn from them, which is key. Really important stuff. Because in the end, it's about responsibility. What's really important too is keep your gratitude journal going every day. Start from a place of good emotion. You get up in the morning, you're fired up. If you get up in the morning and you do first thing Facebook, then you watch BBC TV news, then you watch Daily Mail newspaper, then listen to the radio, you're gone. You get up in the morning, affirmation, music, come on, bring it on. Then the first thing that happens, you get an email negative, so be it. Let's keep going. Start off a good place and keep going forward, which is really important stuff, you know? Really important stuff, keep going forward. So, you know, today's the best time to start. If you want to contact me, going towards the end now, you're more than welcome to. My card, if you want to, I'll send you a presentation. I've got ebooks you can have. My vision is to help as many people as I possibly can. There's enough for everybody. There's millions of people out there that need coaching and therapy. Mental health is on the rise as well. It won't improve in a hurry. The world is in the transitional phase. Big transition. And it needs people who are strong characters to step up. And people like you guys to turn things around. So there's plenty of everybody really. People come, they go in the industry really. So I'm more than happy to help people. That's what I stand for. That's the key. So you're more welcome to email me. You can read, you can make your own mind up, make your own decisions. Have we got time for questions? No questions? Okay, no time for questions. But if you do want to ask me anything, I'll be around anyway. I'm more than happy for the next half an hour or so to fire away. So thank you all. I really enjoyed it, and good luck. Thank you. Thank you.